I just put Kira down for a nap, so let's hope she stays asleep while I film this video. Today, I want to share popular baby products that I regret buying and what I would buy instead. As a new mom, it can be so overwhelming with all of the registry items and just all the things that you think that you need. If I've learned anything at all, now that I'm 4 months postpartum, is that you really don't need that much stuff at all. And so my hope in sharing this with you is that it can help you alleviate any of the stress or overwhelm with all the stuff that comes with being a new mom and having a new baby in the house. So today I'm focusing on popular products that didn't quite work out for me, but remember they're popular for a reason. So if they worked for you, that's great. This is just my 2 cents, and I'd be happy to share products that I love in a follow-up video. So let me know if you are interested in seeing that. Everyone's baby is different. Everyone's preferences are different. I don't think I even need to disclaim that. We all know that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Regret number 1 is the Owlet Dream Sock. This is the one product that I registered for that I felt as a new mom that I could not survive without. And so my friend Tia got it for us from our registry. And that first night home, we were setting it up. We were really confused, but also sleep deprived. And so we just ended up winging it that first night, and each night that went by, I started to feel more and more confident. There were so many noises that newborns make that just sound terrifying. You think that there's something wrong with their breathing, and I would record all these different noises she was making in the middle of the night, and then a couple days later at the pediatrician, I'm like, is this normal? Is this normal? Is this normal? And literally everything is normal. As the days went on and the weeks went on, I started to get more confident as a mom, also knowing that she is right next to my bed. I'm waking up every 2 to 3 hours. Ultimately, I ended up realizing that the more technology I had around me, the more anxious I felt. And instead of peace of mind, it was causing me more stress. So I felt like not having the Owlet Dream Sock, trusting in my intuition as a mom, tapping more into that, tuning in versus being so connected. You'll see a theme here amongst the products that I regret buying, because I feel like the world is getting so high tech to the point where there's too much information, too much stuff out there to cause us a lot of anxiety. Obviously, I'm really grateful for these advances in technology, but sometimes I think we can go back to basics and be a little more simplified with it. But when I shared that I returned the Owlet Dream Sock, I had so many people DM me and say, yes, me too. It was causing me more anxiety and stress. And I just realized tapping into my own intuition as a mom was more helpful. However, I did have a few people saying that when their baby was sick, having the Owlet Dream Sock was really, really helpful to monitor their breathing and things like that. So that's a whole other can of worms. Anyways, we can prepare as much as we can, and maybe Owlet is a good tool for those occasions. But that is one thing I think you could skip or maybe delay purchasing. And in my case, I don't plan on buying it because I returned it. So that's my first regret. Regret number 2 is the Nanit camera. This is the camera that I thought everyone needed to have because first of all, it looks very nice and sleek in the nursery, and you can look at the app on your phone, so it's always with you. It has a bunch of other features. I don't know, I just thought this was the camera to get, and I wanted that camera. So I registered for it. Make sure when you register for things, you have the ability to return it. So I'm really grateful for all the friends who purchased me things. They gave me the order number and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, ultimately, my issue with the Nanit was that I didn't like having the app on my phone because I found it really annoying that anytime I wanted to use another app on my phone, which was frequently because I'm using my phone all the time, I couldn't really see her anymore. The other side of it is that it's a Wi-Fi camera, and I've heard stories of those cameras being hacked, and I didn't really think much about it until it happened to a family member of mine, and that freaked me out. I just think that's another layer of unknowns and anxiety, and you don't think it can happen to you until it happens to you or happens to someone close to you, which is just really creepy. So in the end, we switched to the Eufy baby monitor, which I would recommend. So there's 2 things I have. I have the Eufy baby monitor, which is just old school, simple. You can't hack it, or it's really, really hard to hack. I don't even know how you would hack it. There's no app. You just have the camera set up, and then you just carry the monitor around old school. And honestly, I just turned the sound up so I can hear her. In the beginning, I felt like I was watching her like a hawk, and I needed to look and make sure she was breathing. I would look at the monitor and see if I could see her chest going up and down. But as the months have gone on, I've become more relaxed and confident and comfortable, and that just comes with time. My postpartum anxiety is chilling out a bit. Now I've also purchased a baby monitor just for the sound. I think that's just easier sometimes because the one problem I have with the Eufy baby monitor is that the monitor just dies so quickly. I feel like I'm constantly charging it, which is just super annoying. So I bought one of these VTech baby sound monitors and just old school. If she's crying, I know she's up and I can go and soothe her or get her. Those are the two things I would get instead, or at least you could start with them because they're so much cheaper. At least like even just like the sound baby monitor is like 20 bucks. You could start with that. And if you're like, no, I really need to see her, you know, you can look into other options. So sometimes less is more. The third thing I regret buying is the Hatch sound machine. We bought it and within a couple of days, we returned it. Honestly, all I needed was a sound machine, but it's a sound machine. It's a night light. It has an app. It has all these different routines you can set up within it and timers and like, oh my God, it just felt like overkill. So instead I purchased the Hatch portable sound machine, which I love because the battery lasts forever. It lasts so long. It has different sounds. It also has her nighttime like lullaby song that we play as part of her nighttime routine. And then we take it with us if we need to. We move it from room to room. Like I love how just like simple it is. It's just a sound machine. The battery stayed charged for a very long time, which is great. That was the issue I had with the Hatch sound machine, the fancy one. I just felt like I was constantly charging it and I only had it for like a few days. So I don't know if there was something wrong with it, but anyways, it just felt like too much tech once again. That's like the theme of this video. Everything has an app, everything has a subscription, and I am just exhausted. My bank account is like, no more subscriptions, please. Besides the Hatch portable sound machine, I did get a cheap little touch nightlight that I keep on the side of my bed. If she's crying, I can like tap it and peek over and put the pacifier back in her mouth. But other than that, we just use the red light at night when we're changing her just to keep things chill. I'll be sure to link all of these recommendations in the description. The fourth regret is the snoo. If you saw my viral TikTok, my reel, wherever the heck I repurposed that video, I was cleaning a secondhand snoo. I put so much time and energy into cleaning this thing, but ultimately I bought it knowing that I might not need it. I just figured, hey, I got a pretty good deal on Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, I got what I paid for because it was filthy and I had to clean it like crazy. But after I went through all that, I just had it just in case, because I don't know, people just really scared me that like, your baby's not gonna sleep, it's gonna be awful, you're gonna be so sleep deprived. And I know that is totally the case for some people, but somehow Kira has always known when it was nighttime and when it was daytime. And she's always slept pretty well at night. There's definitely been times where she wakes up constantly, but that's such a small percentage of the time. So we were never overly sleep deprived. She's been a pretty good sleeper since day one. She's not as good as some of my friends' babies who are now sleeping 10, 11 hours at night. Like she still wakes up every 4, 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours. Like it's just not very consistent, but overall, like it's manageable. And we tried putting her in the snoo just to like see, and hot take, I just didn't like how she was just strapped down and like moving like this. Like I just found it really strange. And I know for some moms, it is a lifesaver, game changer. So like, this is not a dig at any of them. If it works for your baby, I am so happy for you. Like whatever works for you, that's great. For us, we just didn't need it. So I ended up selling it along with all the swaddles that I bought for it. I bought a new mattress. I had like a sheet protector, new sheets. Like I sold all of that and I basically just broke even. I just wanted it gone. And the new mom that has it, I hope that it's serving her well. Your sleep is so important. So you just got to find what works for you. And if the snoo is the answer, great. But I would say you don't have to jump straight to the snoo because it's a huge investment to make unless someone is like letting you borrow it, or maybe you could rent it. And if your baby doesn't need it, I don't know. My opinion is wait until the problem arises versus anticipating the problem on such an expensive purchase. We have the Newton bassinet. We loved it. It's very spacious compared to most bassinet sizes. Your baby's gonna be able to use it for longer than I think some of like the smaller bassinets out there. We used it for the last 3.5 months. We only recently moved Kira into her big girl crib because girl was just turning around and she would get stuck short ways like this. She'd wake herself up and then I'd wake up being like, oh my God, how did she get over there? So now she's got her big crib next to our bed and she's loving that space. My fifth regret is the Nuna Mix Next stroller and the bassinet attachment. Oh man, I did so much stroller research, so I am just shocked that I ended up regretting this decision. Nuna is a wonderful brand. I wanna say, like, I love how they're non-toxic. They don't have the flame retardants and the other chemicals on their products, but the Nuna Mix Neck stroller is just way too heavy for me, unfortunately. It's lighter than the Uppa Baby Vista, which is what I was comparing it to, but I just didn't realize how much work it would be for me to haul this stroller in and out of the car. I literally got like wheel marks on my shirt because I was like struggling to get it in the car and I was just like shaking. I don't know if I'm just weak, but it just is too heavy for me. It also takes up more than half of our trunk, so I could barely put anything else in there. Besides the Mix Next, I also purchased the bassinet attachment. In order to get it in your car, you have to unclip the sides and like smash it down. And it is just too many steps. I still don't really know how to do it. Andrew always does it for me. He always loads it in and out of the car. He does all the heavy lifting, but when I'm by myself, which isn't often because I'm scared to drive by myself with Kira, but it is freaking hard. So I wish, and take this with a grain of salt because I just ordered this stroller and it hasn't arrived yet, so I might have an updated opinion, but I wish I got a stroller that was super easy to just fold up with one hand, was much lighter, had a bassinet attachment that just like goes like that. Some Bugaboo bassinet, it goes from this to really quickly. You don't have to break it all down and smash it. So I ended up purchasing the Jules, not Jules, but Joolz stroller with the bassinet, because she's not gonna be able to sit in the stroller till after 6 months. I don't want to live my life just like, you know, hauling this thing. So I'm keeping the Nuna for now at home to go on walks at home. It's great for like a really bumpy terrain, but like just going in and out of the city, like I just really don't need this heavy duty of a stroller. And I looked around at everybody when I was like going around Austin. I just noticed the other strollers moms had, like ours is the biggest one. Anyways, I have the Jules stroller coming. I think it's 13 pounds compared to the Nuna, which is, I wanna say 26 or 28 pounds. Like that's a lot. So TBD on how the Jules stroller goes, but I'm just looking forward to having a really light city stroller that I can take in and out of the car really easily. Stay tuned on that one. Regret number 6 is the Artie Pop carrier. Okay, I don't want to call this a regret, but I want to say you don't need it. It's not the most comfortable carrier, but it is so freaking beautiful. Like I love wearing it because it looks good. I love the denim. I've not seen any carriers like that. But if I'm gonna be wearing my daughter for a while, I'm not gonna go for that one. I'm gonna go for more of the apron style carrier, like the Sakura Bloom or my Solly Wrap, even though it can be kind of annoying to put on. The Artie Pop, I don't know, there is just something about the waistband that just hurts my back. And so many of you have told me it hurts your back too. So I'm not the only one, but fashion, sometimes I'll wear it because it just looks good. Oh, she's awake again. Okay, I might have to hold her for the rest of this video. Someone woke up from their nap, so now is a perfect time I can just show you the Sakura Bloom carrier, which is one of my favorite ones because it's very comfortable, but some people find it a little tricky to put on. This is the back buckle. It is really not as hard as it seems at first if you just follow Sakura Bloom's tutorial. This is an apron style carrier, so if you're having any back pain, maybe consider something like this. But yeah, basically Artie Pop. Is it beautiful? Yes. Is it fun to have? Yeah, I like it because it's beautiful and looks really nice with some of my outfits. Do you need it? Absolutely not. There are way more comfortable carriers. You do not need to spend that much money on a carrier. If you want to, by all means, go for it. But I would personally start out with the Solly Wrap for the newborn stage. The Sakura Bloom is also apparently okay for newborns, but I just think the Solly Wrap, even though it's kind of a pain to put on at first, it's not as quick, does not buckle, it's very much like a wrap. It is so great for the newborn stage because it makes your baby feel like they're in the womb, and it's so comfortable, so soft. And I was baby wearing so much during the newborn stage because Kira just wanted to be close 24/7. I was able to wear her, but still get a few things done. So I should just do a baby carrier review at some point because I have acquired so many and I have many thoughts on all of them. Let me know if you want that video. Regret number 7 is getting a diaper bag, like a bag specifically that is a diaper bag. I got the Dagny Dover, which is really nice, and it's a backpack, and I'm sure we'll use it in the future, but it is something that you really don't need right away, in my opinion. I was able to put what I needed in my own purse, And I would rather spend money on a nice purse for myself that can also carry baby things than get like a specific diaper bag. I just don't think you need it. I mean, if you live in a city and you are like out all day and like everything you need is like in your bag, like your diaper bag, then maybe. But if you drive a car, I would recommend instead a caddy for your car that you have several diapers in, some burp cloths, maybe a change of clothes if you want, wipes, and a changing pad, and you're good to go. So most of my diaper changes would be in the trunk of my car, and in my purse I always have like 2 diapers and some wipes and a change of clothes. Like I always just kind of keep that in my purse, but I don't need like an entire diaper bag. So that is just my 2 cents. By all means, if you're excited to get a diaper bag, get one. But you could instead just get you a nice bag that you're really excited to wear around. So that's what I did. Okay, now I'm just gonna share some quick rapid fire regrets. I regret buying way too many diapers. I think I would have started off with a sample pack of different brands to then see what brand I end up really liking. My favorite brand after trying so many different diaper brands is Coterie and Kudos. Those are 2 totally chlorine-free diapers, TCF, and the Coterie, they're bougie, but man, they are so soft, and Kira has less blowouts in them. Like your baby is still gonna have blowouts no matter how good the diaper is. It just happens, like literally happens more than you would think. You're gonna go through a lot of diapers. The Coterie ones are super, super soft and just like feel really good on her body. And they're the ones that we just keep coming back to. My second favorite brand is Kudos. Those are just like such a great brand. They're not as soft as Coterie, but they're really great quality. And I just wanna say like every baby's body is different. So even if you find a brand that works for you and doesn't work for like a friend of yours, there's a brand called Healthy Baby. And I was so excited for those diapers, but like the way they were shaped just didn't fit on her body, and she had so many blowouts in them. So I would just say test out a couple versus buying like 5 packs of the same brand, because you just really don't know until you try it on your baby. And even you might have a brand that you like during the newborn stage and then switch to a different brand when they get a little bit bigger. We were using Honest diapers a lot during the newborn stage. Those were great because they're going through so many diapers at that age. I didn't want to like spend a ton of money. So I think Honest diapers were also great for that stage. You'll learn as you go with that one, and you'll have your preferences. I also regret getting changing table covers, like the Kikaroo. We got the Kikaroo peanut changer, but then we got liners that went on top of it because I thought, oh, my baby doesn't like to be cold. She likes the cold feeling on her skin. Like it's not even that hot in our house, but I think she just really likes that. Never bought wipe warmers, never did any of those things. Like she is totally fine on a cold changing pad, and it's just so much easier to wipe clean because it's gonna get dirty, and once you get poop on the liner, you're just constantly washing things. So I just recommend bare butt on the Kikaroo changer, spray it, wipe clean. Clearly, I have so much to say on this topic, but I do want to say, here are some things I think you could wait and see on, and I wish people would have told me this. I recommend creating a wait and see list, so a list of things that you have already researched, and if your baby ends up needing it, you already know what brand you would buy. It's already saved in a collection on Amazon or whatever, and you can buy it when you need it and it'll be here tomorrow, because some things are urgent like that. So for example, pumps and milk storage bags. This is something I wish I had just waited on, because I ended up not ever pumping. And I'm glad I got a pump from my insurance for free, so I never ended up paying for it, but I bought a ton of milk storage bags. I just assumed that everybody pumped and that everybody stored tons of ounces of milk in a deep freezer. Like I just thought that was the norm. I didn't realize that like you don't have to do that. There are so many different paths to feeding your child, and so I want to preface this by saying that whatever ends up working for you and your baby, that is great. I never knew that exclusively and directly breastfeeding was even a thing. For me, breastfeeding has become so much easier than I ever thought it would be. It was literally the hardest thing for me postpartum, and it has now become the easiest thing for me postpartum. When I felt like quitting, I gave myself another week or 2, and it ended up clicking and everything was fine. And now it's like such a source of joy and connection with me and Kira, so I'm really glad that I kept going, but that is not everyone's case. Props to the moms who have to go back to the office. It is such a hard thing. Pumping is such a time-consuming, isolating thing. And so I realize I am super, super lucky to be in the position that I'm in to be able to stay home and nurse my baby. Anyways, so I just wanted to share that in case you are staying home with your baby and breastfeeding is working out for you and it's not causing you a ton of stress, like then I want you to know that's an option because I didn't know. So far for me, it's just easy and seamless and we're just gonna keep on going for as long as it feels good. TLDR, I think you could probably wait and see on bottles, the sterilizer, the bottle warmer. Like if you plan on breastfeeding, maybe just see how that goes and then have your bottles that you would want to have saved somewhere so you can buy it, but I just don't think you need to buy it all at once. And if you end up not using bottles like me, you don't need a bottle warmer. And also you probably don't need a bottle warmer, period. You could just heat up your bottle under the hot water in the sink. There's so many gadgets for babies, but like you could literally just boil a pot of water to sterilize things. I thought I'd be sterilizing things all the time, but I am actually so much more laid back about that than I thought I would be. Like I've definitely dropped her passy on the ground and picked it up and put it back in her mouth. She wasn't premature. She's not immunocompromised or anything like that. So to each their own. All right, friends. So those are the things I regret, the things that I would wait and see. Again, this is just my personal experience. Everyone is different, but I just hope that if you're feeling like, damn, this is expensive, there's just so much stuff. Those are things that I think you can find an alternative for or just wait on. So that is my list of things I regret, things I would buy instead, things I would wait and see on. These are just my 2 cents and I hope it was helpful. If you feel overwhelmed, just know that you are gonna know what is right and best for your baby. It really does click in. It may not be like right away, but it's one of those things that like really surprised me about motherhood is like, it's really surprised me how much I knew what was best for my baby and knew, no, this isn't right. No, I want this instead. Like you will have your preferences, even if it feels very foreign at first and you're kind of just buying things because you saw like a list of things that you should register for. Honestly, you just don't need that much stuff in the beginning. Kira is in our room. She's not even using her nursery. Her nursery is straight up a storage room right now. So she's just gonna be in our room until further notice. That's what's working for us. Anyways, babies are pretty simple at the end of the day. Let me know if this was helpful and if you have any other questions, any other videos you'd like to see from me. I'm doing my best to try to make these videos, but as you can tell, it is much more difficult these days than it was in the past, as I expected. So thanks for your patience and for hanging out with me in this new era of motherhood. It's been truly the most joyful time of my life. I am loving being a mom. Just literally never imagined this level of love and joy that I feel taking care of this baby, being her mama. All right, thanks friends for hanging. I will chat with you later. Bye. Okay.